Okay, totally new video for today. If you're not familiar with the channel, my name's Bill, this is Truck and Roll. In the past, almost all the videos that I've had have all been about my 1981 C10 Chevy pickup. However, this video is gonna be a little bit different. We're not even going into the garage because we're not working on anything I have here. I'm actually flying back to the East Coast to work on my good friend Brandon's 78 C10. If you guys remember, if you do watch the channel, a couple weeks ago, we were working on my C10 and we did a top end kit. Two of my friends flew out for like a little ski trip / to come help me with my truck. And we got to thinking, you know, after college or whatever, you guys move away, start your own families, and it becomes difficult to just drop in on your friends sometimes and help them with their projects. So we figured, you know, why not maybe once a year, twice a year, do a big trip where we fly out and help each other with a major project. So that is what this video is going to be about. We're going to be helping my friend Brandon with his truck and really show you guys what you can get done in less than a week with basic hand tools. Okay, so the plan for this trip is twofold. The main reason I'm flying out is to help him with his transmission. So he has a Turbo 350 3-speed non-overdrive transmission in his truck right now. He's swapping that to a 700 R4. If you're not familiar, these are still mechanical in the sense that there's no electronics needed to operate it, but you get overdrive. So he's gonna get fourth gear with that. So we're hoping that everything more or less drops in. We'll have to modify the cross member, but other than that, it should hopefully be a drop-in replacement. We should even be able to use the old drive shaft, I'm hoping. So that's kind of the main reason, because that's really hard to do by yourself. The other reason I'm going out is to help him with the top end kit. His truck has some mystery cam, we're not really sure. I think it's under 500 thousandths lift. It's, you know, mild, moderate cam. Has a really good sound to it, but we don't know the specs. It's a hydraulic flat tappet. He is going to keep that cam, but we are going to install a set of Brodix cylinder heads. And in addition to those cylinder heads, which should obviously flow much better, we will also be swapping out the stock rockers, which I believe are a 1.5 ratio, correct me if I'm wrong, for small block Chevys, but we're going with a Scorpion 1.7. So we're gonna take as much advantage as we can of that camshaft that he has, not have to break in a new set of lift. So tell me about your truck, Brandon.
It's a 78 C10 with a 74 400 small block in it. Somewhere along the way, it seems to have been rebuilt, but I think it's all factory stuff, except there's a baby cam in it. So something real tiny, like 430, 440 max valve lift. So
How much power does it make?
221. But over 300 pound-feet.
But she sounds good, right?
Yeah.
So right now, you got a small cam. Let's see, Edelbrock intake, dual plane, I assume?
Yeah, it's a Performer, yeah.
What size carburetor?
650.
650. Set of long tubes, it looks like. What, 2.5 inch exhaust? Otherwise, pretty stock. It's lowered, right?
Yeah,
2 inch drop. It's got a nice reupholstered leather seat on the inside. It's an automatic, obviously. Cool. All right, let's get started. Well, safety first, we're gonna undo the battery. I think we're gonna start draining the coolant. Gonna try and remove the carburetor intake manifold all as one, so we'll leave that all together. Just undo the intake manifold bolts. We're gonna have to pull the alternator because it's attached. Fuel lines, obviously, vacuum lines, and then all of that should be able to come off as one piece. You're gonna spill coolant on the ground. You can try and drain it from the lower hose, but it's gonna go everywhere, so we'll try our best not to make too big of a mess. Do a little time lapse. What do you got done so far, guy?
Draining the radiator.
Draining the radiator, okay. Have you broken any spark plugs in half yet? Is that later to come?
Not yet.
We'll
get there.
Meanwhile, let's see, we've got the distributor out, wires labeled, alternator's almost out. I spilled gas everywhere. There's Best part about a truck, you got a spot to put all your parts in the bed once they come off. Built-in storage. Progress update. 3 hours later, what, 3 hours and 15 minutes?
Probably not even.
Not even that?
3 hours.
3 hours, we got the cylinder heads off. Found a potential coolant leak on the other side. Obviously all the other parts came off too.
Some oil through the valve guides maybe.
Yeah, some little things, but hopefully the new heads will fix that, and new head gaskets.
If only I could get this lower radiator hose out, we'd be in business.
Oh, you're gonna pour shit everywhere if you do that. Okay, so the first step we're gonna do right now is mock up the cylinder heads on the block. We gotta clean the deck surface really well. Then we'll put the new head gasket on, put the head on. We're keeping the same cam, but we have 1.7 roller rockers. And obviously the dimensions of the cylinder head might be different, so we want to go ahead and do this to make sure that we don't have any binding issues with the lifters. And also we want to check the spacing on the top of the valves to make sure that's correct. And we will have to order new push rods, so this will be the check for how we size those push rods. Okay, so what we just did was we want to get one of the cylinders on top dead center. This one was closest, number 3. So top dead center meaning top dead center compression stroke. The cam is on the base circle, so both of these lifters should be down. You can't use the timing mark the normal way because it's not going to line up with the 0 mark on your pointer. But if you go in the firing order, this will be 270 degrees from where you start, which means the timing mark should be 90 degrees before top dead center. It's hard to see, but you can see it there, and trust me, it's 90 degrees. See if you can see it. Now it's 90 degrees before top dead center. So we are on TDC compression of the number 3 cylinder, about to put the head on, and then we can check push rod line. The part where he drops it on the ground. Oh, you're trying to set it on there first?
You just want to study.
Yes.
Probably lose power.
Probably lose power. Okay, so what we're about to do right now, we've just installed the cylinder head. We're going to try and mock up the push rod length. So what you're going to need for this, at some point it helps, is an adjustable push rod tool. You can unscrew this and screw it in and get a different length. They come in different sizes. So this one works, it's from Trick Flow. It works from 7.5 inches to 8.7. If you've got different geometry where it's going to be longer or shorter than that, you have to get a different tool. You want to get your rocker arm, your poly lock, all that stuff. Then you take a Sharpie and you take the Sharpie and mark the top of the valve stem completely black. So you can see these two right here, which we aren't checking, not black, these two are. Then what you're going to do is you're going to install your rocker arm just like you normally would. Again, making sure that this is at, top dead center. You'll come through, put your poly lock on, take all your lash out, and then start turning the motor over. When you turn the motor over, obviously this is going to move up and down. It's going to leave a witness mark on the top of the valve stem, and you're looking for a straight line that lines up essentially on the center of the stem. If it's off to one side or the other, you could get improper lift. You could be side loading the valve stem. It's bad for your valve. What you just missed was we put the lifter on, put the rocker arm on, put the poly lock on, tighten it down while spinning the push rod until we got to 0 lash. Then we looked at the instructions. We put 3/4 of an inch of preload.
3/4 of a turn.
3/4 of a turn of preload, thank you, on the lifter, and we were good there. Then we spun the motor over, 1 full turn. Now we're gonna take everything off and
2 full turns.
God damn it! 2 full turns. Thank you, Brandon. And I don't know how I do this by myself. And now we're gonna take everything apart and take a look, and it'll probably be perfect. It probably won't. We'll probably do it all over again. So we'll disassemble it now.
Add a lot of comic relief.
All right, so right now you gotta take the guide plates off in order to get the adjustable push rod length checker out. Once he pulls that, I'll show you the top of the valve. So this is with a 7.85 roughly. So you can see that line on. It's going to be hard. I'll try to take a picture with flash, but it's moving its way in the right direction, but it's not quite centered. So we're going to try and make it 7.9, and then hopefully that'll be good. That's a common size. And then we continued the same process for the exhaust, and what we determined was that an 8-inch push rod was perfect for both the intake and exhaust, as you can see here. is lashing all the rocker arms. We actually had to go back and redo this since we didn't have it on TDC of the #1 compression stroke. Luckily we caught that before we started it and got everything lashed correctly before startup. All right, we're getting ready now. Got everything hooked up, we think. I don't know. What's that?
I said something's unplugged down here.
Probably a light, maybe a side marker or something. We can look at that. Do we have all the ignition stuff set up right?
Yeah, we might not. We lost a lot of gas, so we might not have fuel pressure yet.
There you go. There you go. It wanted to. All right, go ahead, give it another try. It just needs fuel. It sounds barky though. It wants it. It wants it. Come on. Come on, you little bitch. Yes. Okay. Just let it run. Sounds mean. I think it sounds different. What's your oil pressure like?
48 pounds, 50 pounds, 48 pounds.
I'm coming in your crotch. Oh, shit, I can't see. Is that what it's normally at?
Yeah. It's like a hair low. It's hot outside.
So I just about wrapped it up for that day. We were late for dinner at that point, so we had to wrap it up. The next day we got up early, just checked a couple things, checked the tension on the TV cable, and got out and got to drive the truck around. We encountered a few problems when we got it out on the road. There were a couple leaks we had to address. The TV cable was being a little finicky, but all in all, it ran and drove after 4.5 days. Wait, give me one of these. We're just about to wrap this up. We got it all back together. It seems to run. It's not perfect. We definitely need to adjust the TV cable to get it to shift right. It's shifting from first to second between 15 and 20 miles per hour. It seems like second's around 32, or second to third, I should say, is around 32. But I gotta go back, fly back to Utah soon, so we're gonna go head to the local little outdoor brewery, grab a singular beer. We're not getting beer. Battery doesn't work. Alternator doesn't work. This is the end of the video. All right, back in Utah again. As you guys saw, we were really hoping to go out, grab a beer, before I headed off the airport, sit on the tailgate, that sort of thing. But it just wasn't meant to be. We had really good luck all week, but at the end there, I think it was just a combination of the truck not starting for a while and then trying to get it running, cranking it, stuff like that, which is hard on the battery. We had it plugged into a charger for a little bit, but I kept having to unplug the charger to use some power tools, and I must have forgot to plug it back in. So when we finally went to start it up at the very end, it just wouldn't start. But that's how it goes sometimes. All in all, super fun trip. I learned a decent amount. I mean, I had swapped transmissions before, but never an automatic, so I definitely learned some things. And from what I hear, it sounds like the truck is running pretty good. Definitely sounds different with the combination of the heads and the rocker arms. So it'll be interesting to see what it makes in the dyno. If you like this video, please do not forget to like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below, and I will do my best to get back to you. Once again, thanks for watching. Have a good rest of your day.